first of all, congratulations today. To have the season that you're having in both singles and doubles, near the top 20 again, semifinals of Wimbledon. You have a gold medal as well in doubles as well. You've had gratifying years in your career. As of right now, would this be your most gratifying to date?
Yes, I would say so. Yeah, it's definitely my best season in my career, and I could dream about that. When if somebody would tell me the end of the year, you will be in top 20 and you will have a gold medal and you will play in semifinal of Wimbledon, I would like, okay, let's bet. Let's bet. And
And you wouldn't have bet on yourself.
yes, yes, it's really hard, to realize what you can achieve. But it's amazing that I'm having this season, and I'm sitting here. I'm in top 20. I have a gold medal, and not on my neck right now, but it's in my back. Yeah.
Where is it? Not to say that no one's trying to find it.
I actually have it here with me because
Right now.
Yes, I brought it because a friend of mine, she asked me to bring the medal to show it to her, and so just we'll do some couple of pictures. So I have it here with me in my bag.
So it's like American show and tell. So you bring your like prizes or gifts or toys, and they see it. What was her reaction, or maybe other people's reactions when they saw your gold medal? Did they touch it? Did they smile?
Yeah, somebody touched it, and somebody were like, "Wow, that's really heavy," because it is heavy. When you look at like everybody was standing on the podium, you never thought that it would be that heavy, and of course everybody is like so emotional in that moment. They're like, we couldn't believe that we're holding the gold medal, because for many people in the world, Olympic gold medal is something miracle. It's something magical, and when you touch it in your hands, when you have it in your hands, I would be the same. If somebody would if I would have the gold medal and somebody would give it to me just to hold it in their hands, I would be like, wow. So it's really amazing, to have this medal.
What were you, and I know you can't speak for Katerina, but what were you thinking when you were in Rio, standing on the podium, on top of the podium, getting ready to have those gold medals bestowed on you?
I was thinking on that moment, of course, I was crying, and I thought that, oh my God, Elena, this little girl from Sochi who started playing tennis when she was like 6, and nobody even thought that, nobody even thought that I could be here. Only my parents believed in me all the time. But on that moment when I just came to kind of play tennis when I was 6 or 7. First of all, I fall in love with this sport from the beginning. I was doing the ballet class in the same time, and I hated. And I was like, please, Dad or Mom, I want to play tennis so much. And I couldn't get the court even on that time because my parents didn't have much money, so we couldn't pay for coaches. So I was staying in front of the wall, hitting the balls in front of the wall. I could do that for 3-4 hours in a row. Nobody could stop me, And when I was standing on that podium, I was like, wow, this little girl who was let's say 20 years ago, was standing in front of the wall in a little city in Sochi, now standing on the podium with the gold medal. And I really had tears in my eyes. I know that how much it means to me, how much it means to my parents, to my family, and how much it means for my country as well.
You mentioned your parents. Your dad has coached you for a good number of years, and you mentioned earlier in an interview that it's not easy. But describe your relationship with your dad as a daughter and as a mentee as well.
He's very caring, first of all. He's very calm. I'm very emotional. So when I'm upset or something, I can talk nonstop. He would listen. He would sit and listen to me, and then he would, first of all, he's very smart. My dad is very smart, and every time when he's telling to me something about tennis, about life, about what I have to do, I'm not agreeing all the time. This is my character. I'm not going to agree right away. But then few minutes later, a few hours later, I understand that my dad was right. It's killing me sometimes, but that's what it is. And on the court as well, my dad, he's watching a lot of matches. He's always learning. Even he never played tennis in his life before. He only started with me. He's been like a good, I would say, good student, because he was always asking some experienced coaches, what we have to do, what you were doing. Because when I was little, I had really good coaches. I was really lucky to have my first coach. He died, and he really gave me a good tennis technique, which is very important at that age. And then during my career, I was very lucky to have some coaches who really helped me in that moment. And then when my dad stepped in, he had some kind of experience because he was watching it, from the side. And then he knows me really well. And he's more as a parent for me even now than as a coach. He understands what I have to do. He knows what is my best part, which is my not the best part. So he's always telling me what I have to do. Very calm, very instructive, and he's also giving me a right criticism, right? So you always has to hear it from someone close, because when everybody will say to you, oh my God, you're amazing, you're so good, you achieve so much, you don't need to do anything, it's never gonna work. So for me, my dad is always very fair. If I'm wrong, he will tell me. If I did something wrong, he will tell me. If I'm behaving bad, he will tell me right away. So this is a good thing.
You mentioned that your dad, sometimes you may not agree with him, but then you realize that he's right. Can you describe one specific moment on the tennis court and maybe off the tennis court where you did not agree with him, and then eventually you figured out that father knows best?
For example, when I'm serving on the court and he's like, hold your elbow higher or use your legs. And I'm like, Dad, I'm using my legs. And then I'm actually starting using my legs and I'm putting 10 serves in a row in. And I'm like, damn it, he's right. I was not using my legs. And off the court, it can be anything. Even when I'm something about the calendar, I would say. He would tell me, if you would go there and play this tournament, you're never going to win there anything because you're tired. And I'm like, no, I'm fine, Dad, I'm really good. And then I'm going there and losing first round match. And I'm like, Dad was right. Yeah.
I guess really briefly we have to wrap it up. But you mentioned that one of your first coaches or your first coach passed away. Who was he and how influential was he in your career? And I'm sure you still think about him.
Of course. His name Yuri Yutkin. And me and Maria Sharapova, we had the same coach in the same time in Sochi, because we are both from this city. And he was a very smart coach. He could explain to a little kid very difficult things, but in a very easy way. So the kid would understand it quite a way. So for me, he was the best coach for me in the childhood. He gave me so much, and I'm always thinking about him. And I'm still in touch with his wife, and we're always she's always calling me, congratulating me with some results. So she's following, and I know that he's somewhere here. He see me, and he's happy about that.